Listen, getting successful, whatever you consider successful, if it's rich, whatever, it's not a magic trick. It's not God picks certain people he'll make rich and certain people he don't. He gives all of us as his children the power of choice. You have a say-so in that. You can decide to be rich, and with God's help, it's highly doable. But you first have to think it. The difference between successful people and non-successful people is here. I'm no better than none of y'all. I'm not a better person than you. I'm not a better Christian than you. God don't love me more than you. None of that. If you want to be successful, you have to change this. This has to change. Listen to me. It's not what makes it hard is your lack of belief that it can happen for you. The fact of it is, though, it's very doable. See, but you got to change, though. If you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. So if you're at a place in your life and you ain't happy with it, you have to change some things. But you have to make a conscientious decision that you're going to change. And it's not dependent on anybody else. It don't matter what your mama think. It don't matter what your coworkers think. It don't matter what your siblings think. It don't matter what your children think. It don't matter. They have nothing to do with it. This decision is yours and yours alone. It's two people born in a hospital every day. It's a person that's born in a hospital that's going to get a job, and somebody born in a hospital that's going to give them a job. You get to decide which one you're going to do. You get to decide. Let me tell you something. You get to decide if I'm going to be rich, poor, mediocre, plentiful, happy, sad. You have a decision to make. God created us in his image. God thought of this world. He thought of it, so he created it. So he made you just like him, that your thoughts can create things. He made you just like him. Now, you can't go make earth and heaven like he did, but you can make a better world for yourself. There is a scripture, Habakkuk 2:2. It says, write the vision and make it plain, so that he who reads it will run to it. And even though it tarry means take a long time, wait for it, for surely it will come at an appointed time. That's in the Bible. That ain't in the rich people's copy. That's in everybody's Bible. The problem is everybody don't do it. But it's right there. But you got to do it. I'm just telling you, if you don't do it, it's too hard. It's almost impossible. That vision board has changed my life. Everything I put on my vision board, I get. Everything. Now, you have to understand something. It's not going to come when you want it to come. It comes at an appointed time. That's the trick. But the appointed time is what throws people off. Because when you ask God for something, he sends it. He ships it immediately. As soon as you ask him something, you really believe he'll do it, he boxes it up and he ships it to you immediately. The problem with the package is he never gives you the date that the package is going to arrive.
Those people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you have a super scalable business until you can figure out the marketing piece, right? And I always say to the entrepreneur, I'm like, hey, it's your job as the CEO, as the founder. If you believe in your vision and your products and your messaging and what you do, it's your job to get it out to the world, and there's no better way than marketing and sales to do that. So it's like your responsibility. Sadly, most people, they create a cool product or idea, and then that's all they do with it, and then it sits there for years and gathers dust. I say you don't play in the NBA not to win the NBA. Everyone asks me, why do you want to be a billionaire? Because I'm open that that's my goal. I'm like, why would I not want to be a billionaire? Like, you don't play in the NBA not to win the championships, right?
Yeah.
Like, so that's how I see life and business. Yep,
Like I wake up in the
100%.
morning, I'm fucking pumped.
Yep.
Why? Because I woke up.
Well, that's when you asked me the Kobe question when I get on the helicopter. No, because I always weigh up that part, right? Like it's not, for me, it's, I already achieved now more than I thought I could ever achieve. Because back in the UK, if you made $1 million and drove a Range Rover, you're a baller. That's like the success level. And but out here, that's nothing, right? And I did that by 26 years old. And then I'm like, hanging around with people doing 10, 20, 30 million, and I'm like, I can do that too. And then you hang around with people doing 100 million, you're like, I can do that too, right? And it's, yeah, I mean, for me, people ask the same question, why don't you just retire? And I'm like, I couldn't think of anything worse. Like, that's the last thing I want to do, because Sunday night, I wake up, Sunday night, I'm excited to go in the office Monday morning with like my 40, 50 staff there and work on our vision, right? And I wake up excited to get up, get changed, go play sport, and then go in the office that day. So happiness is purpose, in my opinion, right? Like if you have purpose, you have happiness, and I have a lot of purpose. You can spend $1 million and make $2 million back, and you can spend 10 million and make $20 million back. Until you have that, don't write blogs, don't worry about anything else, all the, you know, BS shiny objects. And like, that's what I've always done, and that's how I've built 8-figure companies, 7-figure companies myself real fast. Within 2 years, I built a $10 million company and like 7 or 8 $1 million companies within a year, just because I got that one thing I got really good at that one thing and super focused on that one thing. Yeah, you gotta get attention. It's rule number one, because there's so much noise and BS in the marketplace, right? And all the biggest e-commerce brands in the world that are successful have a signature product, or they have something they stand for. Every influencer, the biggest influencers, have a character, right? Like these ones that go viral. Hey, if I want to impact millions of people and really grow this brand to that level, I have to do exactly what you said. I have to create some uniqueness. I have to help. You know, I think one thing that Grant talks about a lot is like, you have to be a little polarizing too. Like a lot of people, again, I think in society, is like you've got to please everyone, right? And it's like when you please everyone, you please no one. So that for me was a big mindset shift many years ago. It's like, hey, it's okay not to please everyone. It's okay to have some people that hate your stuff too, right? Because there's millions of people that love your stuff, and that's what's important.
So the mindset becomes more about not having a to-do list, but do not to-do list. Like, I am no longer going to do this. I am no longer going to do that. Yeah. And that frees up time to put more into. We had a meeting a month ago, and I sat down with our leaders here, and I said, I don't want to go wide right now. I just want to go deep. We have way too many companies and projects that we're managing that we keep adding another one and another one and another one. I want to take these things here and go hire the right leaders and executives to take it deeper and deeper and deeper. Let's strengthen these companies and then increase valuation, and then possibly consider this. But we're not at a point right now to go more. It's a lot of intentional thinking of what is going to deserve our attention this year and what we need to set aside, and then get a little bit more discipline by bringing the right support, so it gives us more time to give attention to those things that are growing.
Do you consider the things that's going on in the world in this decision? Like
100%.
A lot of people, we're seeing like the layoffs and like people are quitting their job. But you're saying I need to hire more people. How do we start making those decisions? Even though it might be a good business model. Like this is good, but maybe not for this season.
Well, no. First of all, only you know how much money you got in the bank. Only you know how hard you work. Only you know how hard you want to work this year. Only you know. You know, like we can sit in front of the camera and act hard. But we know last time when we talked to our wife and we said, hey babe, I kind of want to tone it down 50% and I want to spend more time this, I want to travel 60% less. These are the conversations, right? I know what I'm saying in that conversation, and I want that conversation to match my behavior. So if I have a 20-year vision tied by another 20 years after that, and I'm willing to play offense aggressively right now, this is not a time to play defense. This is a time to play offense. And you can't play offense if you've made the right choices the last 5 years, 10 years. If the last 5 years you were planning on becoming a deca millionaire because Bitcoin was going to go to $250,000, well, then you took a hit. Yeah. If you were planning on becoming a millionaire because you thought a handful of NFTs, you thought the land you were going to sell for 5.2 million and you bought it for 10 grand, well, then you took a risk. Yeah. Because the get-rich-quick type of models, man, that takes a lot of people out. But you know if your philosophy is a real philosophy built on data, growth, real substance versus just pure luck, I'm hoping to get rich. There's a lot of crypto millionaires right now that are Uber drivers. There's a lot of NFT millionaires that are right now Uber drivers. So if everything you're doing right now for the most part is intentional, then you're intentionally growing, hiring today. If you were winging it, being hopeful that you're making the right choices, then you're in a scary place today.